Hi, good morning, good evening, depending on what time you're watching us. Welcome to the Chwo podcast, where we talk and heal childhood wounds. And if this is your first time, please feel welcome and make sure to subscribe to what you're using, whichever platform you're using. And today I have a very amazing guest, a friend who goes way back and a supporter of the projects I've been doing way back. So I'm very excited. I would like to introduce her, but I'll say my part and she'll also introduce herself. This is my friend called Maryanne, and I used to have an initiative called Wezadada. You remember?
I remember.
Yeah, and she was the designer. She would do such things, and she's very good in designing. And the first design she gives me would be perfect. I'd be like, I'd fall in love. So I think she's a superstar designer, honestly. And I think she's very talented. If you met her on TikTok, you know she's very talented. She also makes hair oil. She has beautiful babies. You know, and you can see she's dressed nicely. So yeah, I'm happy to have you today. So maybe you can introduce yourself and maybe what you're comfortable with us knowing.
Okay, my name is Maryanne Mokami. I am 27 years old. I am a mother. I'm married. I'm an entrepreneur. I just do a lot of stuff. I consider myself versatile. We only have one life. At least try everything. Try to do everything.
And live, eh?
Yeah, try and live and have fun. Mm-hmm. So I think that's my motto. And I enjoy engaging with people, learning about people, supporting friends I find along the way. Often it's not reciprocated, but that doesn't deter me from being there for the friends that are trying their best.
Yeah.
And I find fulfillment in that on my part. Yeah.
Wow. Gosh. Do you feel like I didn't reciprocate your friendship when we were friends?
No, I think for you as a new friend when we began our friendship, I think you, through the works that you gave me for design and stuff, I think you have exceeded the number of designs some friends have even asked for.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's friends supporting friends.
I get you. Okay, I understand. Okay. I thought you meant in terms of we asked you for the design and then we, you know. So, but you are very understanding in terms of payment. When should I pay? How much should I pay? So that's why I was asking that question. Can you give us maybe 3 fun facts about you that you can let us know?
I'll have to read.
Okay. Even I am reading the question, so feel free.
I think my mind wanders a lot, so I have things lined out.
Yeah.
So number 1, I enjoy silence. It's something odd, also given that I'm a parent.
Yeah.
But I enjoy silence.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something, I don't listen to music at all. I am a foodie. I love food. If I was ever an influencer, it would be a food influencer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I love food. And number 3, I'm very imaginative. I love color, I love idea, not on me, on things I create. For me, I'm a very, what is it called? Geometric person. Yeah, so like the dress you're wearing, I don't think I'd wear it because I'm like, the flowers are everywhere, many things. But this one, I'm like, it's 2 colors, we're good. Yeah, I'm very geometric. But on things I create, I love that imaginative feel. Yes.
Interesting. Nice. That's nice to know about you, and I hope you've had. So we'll go right into it. The first thing we're going to do, because we're talking about childhood wounds and parent-child relationships. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a Never Have I Ever Parent Edition. So we're going to give Never Have I Evers of things our parents have not done to us or have never said to us. So I don't know if you have one that you're ready with.
I have many. I have many, and I think it's because of the gravity of how severe they are. I think I had to paraphrase it in a way that I can clearly articulate.
Yeah.
Number one, I think we can go through them later. So, never have my parents ever acknowledged the psychological effect of distance due to work. We are Unaka, Nairobi. Then your parents, you live with your mom in Nairobi. Your dad is in Kisumu. I don't think they realized.
They realize the pain or the feeling that the child has.
Yeah. Number two, never has my dad ever acknowledged that he was wrong. Ever.
He's always on the right.
At least my mom is adjusting. And I think because we are growing, so she's kind of, by the way. So I think my mom is adjusting. But my dad, I don't even know how that discussion can come about.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my third point.
Yes.
Never ever has my dad acknowledged that we don't have a relationship or for him to work towards it. But at least now, if we had a relationship, we will now, by the way, you wronged me here.
True.
But now without that, you can never build up towards closing those wounds. Yes.
So it's like there's an absence of relationship that makes it hard to even say, okay, this is what you did wrong. This is what I would want for you to do.
Yes.
Okay. All right. For me, what I can say, my never have I ever, I'm trying to, I keep saying them every edition, so I'm trying to make new ones. Never have I ever been allowed to speak my mind. Yeah, never have I ever been allowed to speak my mind. And so sometimes I'd say something and be told that's wrong. You're not supposed to say that. And that hinders you from talking your mind. And it makes you also shy. It also makes you, there's a sense of shame because you're not sure what you'll say, if it will be acceptable or not. The other thing is, never have I ever been taught how to, to do makeup, to do, those things that girls are supposed to do. Never have I ever. I had to teach myself.
But does your mom do it? She may be at fault if she does it and she didn't teach you.
I feel like she does it, but not that much. It's not her priority. Do you know there's a way a parent prioritizes different things? So some women prioritize beauty, then work, then husband, or there's. Yeah, so my mom, her priorities were not beauty, aesthetic. No. Whatever aesthetic you see with me is what is coming from my mind or what I have learned. So yeah. Yeah, you want to ask something else? Or that?
I think also our parents letting go of the fact of what was a manini.
Yeah.
I think we weren't allowed to speak or act or be ourselves.
Yeah.
Because what will people say? You're my child.
Yeah.
But I feel nowadays things are getting better.
They are.
It reminds me of one time where with my husband now when we were dating.
Yeah.
And I think we had already moved in. So I posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, husband, happy, hashtag.
Hey.
Somebody, I think, screenshot and sent to my mom or my dad. And my mom called. Who are you calling your husband? He hasn't paid dowry. You know what? Natumiwa picture. And I was like, mom, here is where we draw the line. Because you guys have met him. We've moved in.
Yeah.
And those people who are telling you, go and take their children, they be your children. Because clearly you are embarrassed of us. I think from that day we've never had an incident about what I post on my socials. Because I kept a boundary and I told her, you know what?
Yeah.
These people who keep on coming to you, are their children perfect?
Imagine.
Why do you impose it on us?
Me? Yeah.
So when I drew that boundary, we never had that issue ever.
I love that. I think it's very important when your parent, if you can, just openly saying that this is uncomfortable for me and I don't like you doing it, and in a respectful way. I think there is always room for that.
Yes,
So I think that's amazing. So let's go right into it. What's your best childhood memory? What's that thing that you remember and you're like, oh, this was so nice?
I think what makes me smile is because they were simpler times. There was a lot of security. I think our parents weren't as stressed as we are today.
Yes.
Now, if I see the bill for school fees, I'm like, oh my goodness, these kids better stay at home, because I'm like, what do you mean? And the level of stress translates to the kids.
True.
So during our time, I think life was much simpler. And because there was so much security, we'd play till late. And I think one of my fondest memories was when I had a childhood best friend called Stella. We lost touch. We tried rekindling. We were living in a barracks. And the barracks was huge, and it had a section where there were shambas allocated, and there was a river. I think it's the Karen River, Coco Karen.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, so we'd swim there. The river is very dirty.
But that time it was clean.
Imagine those times it was clean. How many years ago were those? I guess 20 years.
Yeah.
The river was clean. We'd swim. We'd go through the shambas looking for fruit trees.
Yeah.
I think it was a very happy time. And even the barracks itself, it's like an estate. So the barracks had everything. It had swimming pools. It had a football pitch. To a kid.
Yeah.
But I've never forgiven my parents for refusing for us to swim.
Oh.
Imagine living in an estate where there are 3 swimming pools.
Wow.
But you have to sneak out to go. And if you're found there, it's a beating.
Yeah.
So we didn't have that access, but it was there. So that gives you the idea. For a child, that's paradise.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was nice.
I love that. So you were living in the barracks. Was your dad in the military?
Yes, but he's now retired.
Okay.
And we are out.
Do you feel like that affects you, that you had a military dad and the way you were saying he was far away?
It did affect me, because I think what my parents didn't consider was what's the psychological effect of us being divided, you see? Because right now I attribute my lack of relationship to my father because of the distance.
Yes,
if he was close, he would have seen me grow. He would have seen why I make certain decisions. Because later on when I was a teenager, when I made a different decision, he'd see it as rebellion.
Yes.
And my mom is like, Maryanne is like that. But my dad is like, no, that is rebellion.
Yes.
Because he didn't come to understand how I made certain decisions. So right now, something I do different as a parent, wherever you're going, we go. All of us.
Yeah.
If the big issue was about schools, or maybe because my dad was in the Navy, so he was in Mombasa a lot, either Mombasa or Lamu or Mariakani. So if the issue was schools, there are schools in Mombasa.
Yeah.
And imagine as a kid, I wouldn't have minded.
For sure. Because there's a swimming pool there in an ocean.
Like, I wouldn't have. But I think based on where my parents were, they said, it's good they remain here. They had their own reasons. But right now, what I do different, I think I'd make the family unit stronger than consider superficial things to be of greater value.
I hear you. And I think it's very important for that to happen, despite how the economy is going and how things are going. I think it's important to make sure your family is united, because at the end of the day, when they grow up, they'll remember. And they'll either be united or they'll be fighting all the time. So.
And you think they're just kids, they don't know. We remember.
As
we remember.
Absolutely everything. By the everything. The very few things you don't remember, they're not even important, you know? Yes. And those small things are very important. Yeah. So, in the same tangent, what was your worst childhood memory? What's that thing that you remember and you're like, why did it have to happen? Is it connected? Have we talked about it?
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
it's a sensitive topic, but this will be the first time I'm saying it on air.
Yeah.
The downside of being in the military, in the barracks, what I'd also say, it's a danger everywhere.
Yeah.
I think the worst memory I had is being sexually assaulted as a child. Not just once, repeatedly, by adults.
By adults in the barracks.
Yeah. I think I remember someone who my mom trusted. So it's how you just bring your kid. Kakwa kina Ivana.
Yes.
And you know, Ivana has a bigger brother.
Oh yes, even brothers.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a problem with the military because the men are so many there. But I had so many encounters until somewhere in my mind I came to know this is wrong. I remember I was in class 3 and I don't know what happened, and you know how kids are, I start saying a story and I'm like, okay, the atmosphere has changed, maybe we should shut up.
And
then,
when you're telling them the story,
and
I
think something is off. So and once it clicked that something is wrong, I still remember escaping so many of such circumstances. So for me, as much as there were good times, I think there were times I felt alone. And later on, but I thank God, maybe I was very young, but you see, I remember.
Yes.
So it means
it's stuck.
It's stuck. And many things did not stick. Yeah, so later on, I told my mom, and I thought they knew all along.
Oh.
I told her, I think I was in campus, something happened and I just was like,
yes,
you know?
Yeah.
And I thought they knew.
Yes.
You know that thing that happened in your family that no one speaks about? So I thought they
hush,
knew.
hush, yes.
And I told her, like, oh my goodness, I've never known. I'm like, okay, if you never knew, so you want to tell me I was going through this alone?
With no one?
With no one?
Yeah. But did you try to tell her when you were younger?
I don't know why I didn't.
Maybe you were threatened. Do you remember?
So maybe I was threatened.
Or you don't remember those details well?
I don't remember well. Maybe I was afraid. But I remember the effects of what will happen. So I don't remember why I didn't speak up.
Yeah.
So that I was young. I was very young. I wasn't even like 7 years where you're like, you can speak.
Or even understand.
So it got me thinking, why couldn't I speak? Yeah. Was my mom there? You see? Because you were with my mom. My dad was deployed elsewhere. So, and I think that makes me want to be very active in my children's life. Yes, yeah. For me, my kids know how to speak. Yes. Even if it's to lie, we will verify it's a lie later because. But they speak up. They speak up. Yeah. For my firstborn, he'll be like, even if you just tap him, he'll be like, "Mom, Ivana amenichapa," and then we'll be like, "Okay, ulifanywaje wapi?" So I want him to speak up. Yeah. If this happened, say it. If this is touching, say it's touching. Yeah. Yeah. This is your penis. This is your penis. True. So I want him to speak. So for me, I think it made me reflect so much on what might have happened in my early childhood. Yeah. For things to go so wrong and no one to know. Yeah. So but I was alone. Yeah. And it means even the fact that maybe you are not open enough to tell your mom that, Mom, someone did this to me. Or even the fact that maybe there was no awareness of this is wrong, this is right, these are my private parts, this is, personal space, personal safety. So I think even the information, you're right, it's either information or feeling alone and feeling the person who's there cannot listen to you. Yeah. So I guess I never know. Yeah. But now that my son is headed to 4, I would assume maybe. So it's never too early. No, to teach kids what is wrong, and this is what it means to be violated. This is what it means to not speak to a stranger. Don't go to someone's house. If this happens, can you please scream? Can you please run? Can you please immediately report? People say it's early. What will I tell a 3-year-old? There are so many things you can tell a 3-year-old.
Even a 2-year-old,
yeah. So at the end of the day, it's never too early. And I think it reflects on my parenting right now because I want vocal children and I'm working on it.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's amazing. The fact that you're using your own childhood to, to make a better childhood for your children. Yeah, I think the pain we go through as children comes full circle when you're a parent. Yeah. That's the only time you realize, baby, mimi nilifanyiwa ina staki kitu tena, Yeah, so I like that. I know you're a firstborn, so I know we had talked about doing a consolation letter to all other firstborn daughters. It doesn't have to be a letter, it can be consolation words. Because firstborn daughters go through a lot. I wouldn't say I'm a firstborn daughter. I am a firstborn and the lastborn and the onlyborn. So I am going through other challenges that are not the same. But they are the same, some of them. I know over responsibility, some jealousy from your younger siblings. Anyway, it's always a different scenario, but I know they suffer. So as a firstborn daughter, I had asked you to just come up with some consolation words to other firstborns.
My consolation, I think, even through the internet, when you read people's stories, haziachani no mbali. It's almost as if we all grew up in one household called Kenya. And there are so many experiences that are so close together, but some are very fortunate to not be in that umbrella. And it's good for you. Maybe good for you. If you didn't go through that, good for you, so as a firstborn, I think there's as a firstborn where it's a guy and as a firstborn where it's a lady, and it may be different. I see the guys have a lot on their shoulders as firstborn. Our house, we are both firstborns, me and my husband. So his firstbornness is not my firstbornness.
Interesting,
And you see it over and over, where guys who are firstborns are perceived as the small father of the family. Like, hizo miaka zote, how do you even start pulling up the weight of such responsibility? I've had friends, guys, who, because they're the firstborns in a family of single mothers, no, they're the ones, once they get established, paying for everybody's fees
to support the mother.
But the mother didn't need support when she was educating him. You see now
those are her children, not his children.
They're not his children. How the mother educated him to the top should be how the mother should continue.
It's true.
But these guys are burdened by, and it's brainwashed. There's no other term. It's brainwashed. Where you tell this son of yours, my son, we are depending on you. You have to. And this guy, over time, they are worn out, and
they're trying to create their own families.
And imagine. So it may differ a bit, and I think kept more of a general approach for ladies and guys. But let's see.
You can read this.
So, a letter to my dear firstborns, fellow comrades. Dear firstborn, you're just a child among other children. No election happened and you volunteered to be the leader. It's not and should not be imposed on you that your leadership skills are lacking for a firstborn. I'm sure you're very talented elsewhere in very many other skills. Sorry for the countless hours of babysitting that no one seemed to appreciate because it's your duty. If it's about duties, then what is the lastborn's duty? Every one of you children is the lastborn in your own right. If I am the first, then there's no other firstborn. Then I'm the last of the firstborn. If you are the second, There's no other second. It's just you. You were born alone. So, as you grow up, not much will change. That I can guarantee you. Your siblings will look up to you as a source of motivation. It's a good thing. But don't break under the pressure. Where you want to rest, please rest. This journey is so long to be completed fast enough for everyone's applaud and admiration at the exact same time. It's true. You will always let people down, one way or another.
Yeah.
It's either you're not married fast enough, you're not employed fast enough,
or you got the wrong job, or you got the wrong husband.
You know you have everything, but you don't have children fast enough. You can never accomplish it.
No, you can't. Yeah.
You'll be fine. Start building your life and detach from junior parenting position. This will rob you of a relationship with your siblings, and in your old age become strangers. That was for both of you, firstborn brothers and sisters. Now to my dear firstborn ladies, breathe fast. Don't let your experience make you bitter and rob you of the family you would have had because you've been a parent for most of your life already. Pursue to be different and change the course of your parenting one day at a time. It's difficult. I understand you. With much love.
Maryanne, thank you so much. Oh, that was so sweet. And if you're there and you're a firstborn, just know we feel you, we love you, and we know it's not easy, but don't break under the pressure.
Yeah.
So I would love us to conclude. I have 2 more questions. So the second last one is, how do you think your parent-child relationship, your relationship with your parents, influenced who you are now, career-wise, and as your personality-wise? So career-wise and personality-wise, how do you feel that affected you?
I think for me now it's on both sides. It's my parents and me and my children.
Yeah.
I think for me, the effects I had from my parents was I always wanted to be away from home because I'm like, oh my goodness, I need my space. Because I think we were kept so much in a box, and I needed to thrive. I needed to find myself.
Yeah.
So I found myself always wanting to be away from home. I think that's one thing I noted.
Yeah.
And once I moved out when I was 18, I don't think I went back for more than a year. Maybe those down times, and I'd just be home for like 2-3 months. But that will be it.
Yeah.
Another thing is personality-wise.
Yeah.
I am so unbothered.
Yes.
I think I grew up at a home where it wasn't so affectionate, so emotion-filled. And I think my mom has a resting face. Maybe now she's growing old, she has the shosho face.
So it's not a bitch face anymore.
But I remember growing up and looking at her like, Mom, are you angry at me?
Yeah.
It was just one day she had come back home.
Yeah.
It was like, in mood. I just asked her, Mom, are you angry at me? And she said, no, I'm not angry. I think it was just her face.
Yeah.
And so I think I didn't absorb much emotionness.
Yes.
I'm usually very unbothered.
You're like,
Even if there's a war there, I'll just be like, it's sawa tungedu. Yeah, and I don't think I'm empathetic enough. Even with my kids. You know how the kid falls down and you're like, oh my baby. I'm just like, Amka, why were you running? I don't think I have that empathy.
But sometimes it's positive, you know what I mean? If a child falls and you're like, they also become...
I think my kids are getting more independence because I don't fondle them. And that translates well. Yeah,
especially for boys. I think now they just got they are okay. Maybe a girl now, when you get a girl, you have to be like,
no, my last one is a girl.
How old is she?
She's 1 year like
nice.
3 months, 1 year, 3 months.
So huyo itabidi you tune into your empathy.
Those 3
Do you want her to
children,
be coming home and ask me, Mama, you angry?
those 3 children fight as if they are all the same gender. It was just the other day I was asking my husband, now that we have a girl, is there any difference between her and the boys? And he's like, no, all of them imagine they're the same. Their habits, the fighting, the crying. Like, maybe the difference in gender comes later, but as a baby, I think all of them are just the same. Yeah.
Okay, but they're not the same. They will come and find the difference.
But even right now, they all have their own personalities, which we can identify.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, based on how my home influenced me, I think the lack of opportunities, I'd like to avail that to my children. I'd like to give them, I usually say, if my son decides he wants to be a musician, my son, I'll make you famous.
Yes. You support their dream, whatever it is. Yeah.
Be it in a country that appreciates your music.
Yeah.
Be it me selling all I have for you to pursue music. I think I will have appreciated that type of overwhelming support.
Yeah.
Not just in the because I want to be a doctor. Now you are selling your land, I become a doctor.
Yeah.
No, me, I want you to sell your land because I want to be an artist.
Yeah. Something that you're passionate about.
Something I'm passionate about.
Yes, it's true.
And I feel as if that is more of an intentional approach to parenting.
It is. It totally is, yeah.
Yeah, and with regard to the load I had as a firstborn, I don't want to pass the same trauma to my son.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, all of them are very close in age. And I wanted that, and I find it's a good thing because me and my brother, we had an year apart. But imagine my mom would be like, Maryanne, wapi mtoto? I'm like, mtoto mgani? Your brother. But she would never ask my brother.
Where is Maryanne?
No, she would never ask my brother, Matthew, wapi mtoto? It was Matthew, wapi Maryanne?
Yeah. Oh.
But Maryanne.
Wewe hujakuwa mtoto.
Maryanne, wapi mtoto?
Maryanne si mtoto, lakini Matthew ni mtoto.
Matthew ni mtoto. Yeah, na tumeachana na 1 year.
Na nyote ni watoto.
Si wote ni watoto.
But it's true.
So I really didn't want that in my kids. So even right now, as young as they are, yes, there's the aspect of caring for each other. Like the other time, the young one has a flu, and I tell the older one, please wipe your sister's nose. He'd do it because, care for one another.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, Zuberi, why is your sister's nose like that?
He's a daddy.
Like, the kid is just...
It's
just a kid.
Yeah,
and I'd like to continue with that. Where you're not responsible for your siblings.
You're just
mistakes.
helping. Yes.
If you're helping, help. If you cannot, you cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much a summary of the 2 generations of me growing up as a child and what I'm doing different
as
for my
parent.
kids. Yeah.
I love it. I really love the intentionality. It is, I can see through it. It's there, and keep on keeping on. I think it's amazing. So the last question, who is your support system and how do you handle stressful times in your life?
As much as I said I'm not an emotional person, I cry a lot.
Still emotional.
If there's something I'm really... I cry a lot. I cry. But when I speak about my support system, it depends with what is it. So in terms of parenting, I think it's my husband. I'd be like, oh, this and this happening. I'm concerned about this. Are we doing the right thing? And he'll come in and reassure me, you're doing a good job, or we'll work on it. So I'm like, okay, I'm relaxed. Even my mom. And my mom-in-law,
in terms of parents,
in terms of what did you guys used to do, or this is new, can you please guide me through it? So they'd come through. In terms of my marriage, I cannot have problems with my husband
and go to him
to cry.
Not possible. Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah.
What. But I can say that throughout my journey of being a mother, let's focus there. I've had a pretty amazing support system, a very solid support system from my husband, my best friend, my parents, my mom. Correction, my mom.
Yes. Now she amekuwa support.
No, imagine we mended.
Yeah, I think when you
with
grow
my
up,
mom, she is my
balance,
bestie.
yeah.
Na nini. Also, I forgot, firstborns, please be careful not to be your trauma, what is it? Trauma dumping buddy for your parents. It can get to you as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now we have that relationship with my mom where why would I go to someone I don't know when my mom is there?
Yes.
Anyone whose mom has a sensible mind and loves you and wants the best for you should be able to offer advice that is enabling and empowering to you.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I've had a really good support system. I think I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm God's favorite. Me, I cannot even brag enough.
Yeah, amen.
Because raising 3 under 3 has been quite difficult. But we've had the same nanny for now like 2.5 years.
Wow.
She'll be reaching 3 like October. That's grace.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, nannies is another story altogether.
Yeah, that's grace.
It is.
Because of like support system. Because I can say, by the way, without her, maybe I'd be a working mess. She bonded with those children. They even knew her name before they knew to say mom.
Wow. Heartbreak.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Because when she came, I was almost delivering my second born. Now my second born thinks she's his mom.
Oh, they are close, eh?
They are close.
The other now, the girl.
The girl, I think, I don't know why, but she's inclined to me. Yeah. So for my second son, hey, uyo, tunamwambianga yeye ni wa Fei.
Yeah.
And they call her Bei.
Yeah.
That's her name. We call her Bei.
Yani kuongea ndo amefikisha.
And even till now, now that he is 2 years and a half, he still doesn't know how to say mom. He calls me Yippee. I don't know where he got it, but that's my name.
Yeah.
So when he says Yippee, I know it's me.
Yeah.
But for Faye,
it's Bei.
They know. So she has really been a very strong pillar in our life. Yeah. Even right now they're home. Today they didn't go to school. They're home. She's with them.
And you even enjoyed sitting here. Meaning you trust her.
I had the chance to come here. I trust her fully.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
for those nannies who are support systems, thank you so much. You're doing a good job. You can see there's a mommy here who has 3 under 3 and she's sitting with Ivana here and talking without stress, you know? It's amazing.
Yes. I thank God. Yeah, so even right now that I'm this sane, I think it's not just me. It's a lot of people.
Community.
And you need that community.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you need, even if it's one child. I'm not saying one child is easy.
No, but
there's someone really struggling with one child. Anashanga atapika nini? Atakula
we're going through a lot. Sisi tuko na one. Hata heri watatu, maybe your competency has grown. When you have one,
at least they play with each other.
Yes. And then your mind expands. Like there's a way you're like,
Yeah.
When you have one, you're a bit spoiled. So
but everyone needs a support system.
Everyone needs a support system.
Yes.
So anyway, Maryanne, as we finish off, what are your last final words about everything we've spoken about, and maybe your final words to people about parent-child relationships and making it work? Yeah.
I think what I can say is I support the child-free movement. It's not ironic because I'm a mother.
I'm imagining.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When you sit down and within yourself you think, by the way, I cannot manage a child, not even one. I fully support you. because it takes so much to mold this one child. It's not just about giving birth.
No.
Imagine, even now, me, I cry to my mom at my ripe old age. It's not something you just detach once they get to 18.
You don't.
So I support and I concur with those women who have decided I will not have children. You don't owe anyone children. And I'm here to affirm that, because my last point would be, children require a lot more than you think. They are not a trophy. No. They are not a medal that you keep on the shelf.
Or a checklist.
You have to be intentional, because this child, whatever relationship you make with them is what you'll grow up with. And they become adults. Imagine now being hated by your blood. By your blood, not an enemy you don't know. So raising children is very intentional.
It is.
Please don't have kids without intention of being there for them. Relationships don't work, but be there for the children
that you get. And it's a decision.
Don't say ati nilijipata tu. Hakuna kujipata. It's either you do a vasectomy.
Or you stay home.
Or FP will fail. Use FP and condom. Like there's no mistake.
And if you don't want kids, you don't have to also have sex.
See,
you don't have business doing it.
The topic of children is very, very sensitive, and we are coming to a place where we are understanding it.
It's true. Thank you so much, Maryanne. Thank you for opening up so much, and thank you for giving insight into this very important topic. And if you've been spoken about by Maryanne, she loves you very much, and we also appreciate you being part of our unpaid actresses and actors. Thank you so much, and please subscribe, and please stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you so much.